Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in day 15 of AWS series, today we are going to understand the concept of identity and access management. In short form we call this IAM. So first we will see what is the difference between root user and IAM user. Then we will try to create a IAM user and then we will sign in from that particular user. So let's move to our first slide. So what is a root account in AWS? Because whenever we create or whenever we sign up on AWS account, so the very first time when we provide account details like username, email ID and all, so that will be your root account, and that account will have unlimited access on your all of the AWS resources. So if you can see in this particular image, this is a root account which have access on your identity and access management, billing and all the resources which comes in under AWS. So if so in generally we should not use root account in our day-to-day activities. We need to always create a IAM user account, and from that we have to perform our task because it has full control on your AWS. So if maybe if your root account secrets or credentials get leaked, in that case you will be compromised with your AWS services, because you are going to store all the important information like your credit card details and all. So that's why we should not use root account for day-to-day activities. We always use IAM account for any kind of activity which we have to perform in AWS. Until it is not required, always use IAM user account. And here we have to keep few points in mind. So you will have one root user per AWS account. You cannot have multiple root user accounts under single AWS account, and you cannot delete or rename the root user accounts. That you have to keep in mind. Now these are the best practices for root account safety basically. So you have to enable multi-factor authentication in case if your credentials got leaked. In that case, the user which got your credential, he can or she cannot log into your AWS account because you have enabled a multi-factor authentication. Another best practice: do not use the root user for your daily task. So to create IAM user with limited permission for day-to-day activities. So all these are the best practices for root account. So use the root account only when absolutely necessary. Like if you need to change the billing information, in that case you can use root account. If you need to close your AWS account, then you can use root account. And if so basically these are the best practices you should follow when you set up or when you sign up on AWS. Now let's understand what is IAM. So IAM stands for Identity Access Management. So basically IAM is a global service which basically securely control your AWS resources. So with IAM you can create users, you can define permission, who can do what, and manage access keys, password and MFA. So all these things you can manage as part of IAM uh, under the IAM service. So basically if you can see in this particular image, first thing when we sign up on AWS, we need to create a root account. Once you create a root account, from the root account you can create a IAM account or IAM user. So for example here I have defined demo user. Then you create a policy, custom policies, or AWS has many built-in policies as well which you can use, and then you can assign the permission to the resources which you want to access. So this is what we are going to see in a demo. In case if you so this is for but individual user perspective. If suppose you have thousand of users in your organizations, and out of thousand users maybe 100 users need a different access and another 100 need a different access, so in that case you can use the feature of groups. So you can assign the users to a particular group and you can assign the permission at group level. So in that case you don't need to go individual users and assign the permissions. So core component of IAM, which is first is IAM user, which basically represent a individual people or apps. Second is groups, collection of users with same permissions. Then we have roles used by services or external accounts, which is like a temporary credentials. Policies. So policies are basically JSON documents that define permission. Like if you need to allow this particular permission to user, or if you need to if you want to deny the permission to particular user. So all these things you can manage from the IAM. Now let me move to a demonstration part. So first let me go to a search here. Let me search here IAM. So here we will get IAM tab. Okay, so it's saying you have been signed out. Okay, let me sign it again. So here you can see I am a user sign in. So I don't have any IAM user. So I am going to log in with my root user account. So let me click on root user account. So this is the root user email ID. So let me click on next and let me sign in. So it is asking for multi-factor authentication code because I have enabled MFA in my root account. So let me provide a code here. So I'm using a Google Authenticator app where I have uh, enabled the MFA. So let me open. So here I got a code on my mobile device. So let me enter it. Okay, let me hit on submit. Okay, authentication failed. Let me retry it. So it's 697798. Okay, still it's not save or improved Amazon. Okay, let me retype it. 69, sorry, it's gone. 105230. Okay, your authentication information is incorrect. How come? Let me quickly check it. Okay, so actually I have already logged in my another device. That's why I was not able to log in on this AWS console. So now I'm logged in with my root user account, which is demo account. So let me go back. And now what I will do, I'll search for IAM. So let me search for IAM. Let me go there. Okay, so here you can see in a dashboard, you can see the root user has MFA. So this, like whenever you are going to sign up on AWS, always enable MFA for security. So let me go to first users. So let me create a user here. Let me provide a name, demo user. And it is asking provide user access to the AWS management console, which is optional. So I'm not allowing. If I will enable this, then this particular user can access AWS console. So let me hit on next. And here it is add user to groups or copy permission and attach policy directly. So here I am leaving everything is default for now. Let me just quickly create a user first and let me create users. So I have created a users. Now one thing you have noticed, I have not provided any password. So how we will log in from this particular user to uh, AWS console. So let me go here. Now here you can see a security credentials. So let me go here. Now this is the console link which you have to store safely, because this is the link for this particular user to sign in to AWS console. So let me enable here. So from during the creation of user account, you can enable the console access from there, or later you can enable from here itself. So let me enable control access. So here we are getting option console password, auto generated password and custom password. And here we are getting option user must create new password at next login. So let me click on this and let me click auto generate passwords. Let me hit on enable console access. So this details you need to keep somewhere safely, because this will be used uh, to access your AWS console from demo user account. So you can download the CSV file as well. So let me download the CSV file as well. Now what I will do, I will open another window in incognito mode, and here what I will do, let me copy the console signing link and let me paste it. So you can see the account ID or alias is already filled when we enter the URL. So just you need to type the username and password here. So let me go back to my screen here. Let me use a username is demo user. Let me paste it. Now another thing, let me copy the password as well. So which is this one. And let me go back. So you can see this is the unique URL for each user which you are going to create. Like for every IAM user will have the unique console URL. So this will be the unique identity of demo user account which we have created. So now let me go back to here and let me click on sign in. So it is asking to change the password because we have enabled that option. So let me paste the old password here and let me type a new password. And let me confirm password change and continue to sign in. Okay, so now we are able to, like basically we have logged into AWS console. This is the first time I am logged in with this user, so that's why I'm getting these options. So let me hit on new, done, and done. Okay, so if I go to here all services, if I'll go to EC2 instance, for example, and if I click on launch instance, so let me see if I'm able to launch this EC2 instance. Let me verify the permission as well for this user. Let me close this. So if I'll go to permissions here, so uh, we don't have any permissions associated with this demo user account. So ideally we will not able to create the EC2 account. So let me go here and let me just try to create EC2 instance account. So let me give a test username, name as test, and select operating system. So you can see the AMI might no longer exist or may be specific to another account or region. It means we are not able to access. Let me quickly fill all the details, and then we will see if we are able to access. See, you are not authorized to perform this action. So basically this user doesn't have any permissions to create EC2 instance or any other resources. So let me go back to user account. Now here I'll go to permissions, and here I will search for add permission. So there are two ways. So add users to group first, or we can directly attach the policy to the user itself. So let me go to the, let me first or directly attach the permission to user. I'm not going to create any group for now. So let me hit on here, and here we can see a lot of permissions we are getting. So we need a EC2 permission. So let me search for EC2. So let me see Amazon EC2 full access. So if I'll enable this permission from here and click next and add permissions, so this policies has added. So if I'll show here, so we can see the details as well. So a lot of things we can do as part of this policies, because we have allowed full control on EC2 instance. So let me minimize this and let me go back to my EC2 account and let me refresh this page. Now let me provide the name here again, test, and let me choose the image as Ubuntu. So now we will not get the warning which we were getting previously. So you can see verified provider, and let me choose the key here. So you can see now we are able to create the EC2 instance because we have assigned the permission to demo-user. Now let me do one thing. So this is the one way you can assign the permissions, and another way what you can do, you can go here, create inline policy. So here you can choose a JSON format, and for example you search for here EC2 all action. So by default all action is allowed, like what, like all the things which you create as part of EC2. So you can do from EC2, it's from JSON file itself. So here if you want you can change the name as well. So for example I need to change your name EC2 access. So let me add this next. Okay, so action we need to define. No action are specified. So let me give here action. So action will be allow, and resources let me give star. So it means all the resources. So if you can see, if you have mistakenly type anything wrong here, then you will get a warning here. So let me put, okay, so I think we need to put double quotes here again. Let me put star. Okay, so let me take a quick overview here. So if I'll see all actions, then okay, so in resources we need to pass like this. So you can take a reference from existing policies as well. So if I'll go here, let me uncheck this one. So line number, okay, let me close this. Sorry, let me go back here. Okay, so let me copy now. So we are getting one warning here, action and 7 and 8. So let me see, no action are specific at least one action for the selected service. So effect is allowed, action is also I put allow. Okay, what else we need to put here? Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me clear the screen, and here I will add statement, and here let me search for EC2. It's a unique identification. It's a unique name for your policy. So EC2 access, and then let me search here EC2. So access label, let me select info. Let me search for create. Sorry. Okay. So here we are getting create VPC. Let me search for create EC2. Okay. So just give me a moment. So basically here we need to specify a correct action. So what we want as part of this policy, we want to run the EC2 instance. So here the action will be EC2 run instance. Sorry, it's not written. Run instances, and let me close. So now let's see if we are getting a warning. Let me try to click on next. So SID name I will choose here EC2 access, and let me hit on next. Now let's see. Okay, now we are not getting any error. So service EC2 access level limited, right? resources all and request conditions. No, so we have not applied any conditions. So now let me put a name, sorry, let me type a name EC2 access. So this is the policy we are going to create, and let me hit on create policy. Okay, so this policy has been created, you can see here. So as part of this user, so now what we will do, we will remove this policy, and now we will try to create a EC2 instance with the help of the custom policy which we have created here. So let me go back to my okay, it's a demo user, so let me refresh it. Okay, so let me go to my browser. So this is the demo user, and let me refresh the screen. Okay, now let me search again test the instance name, and let's see if we are getting any warning or error. So when you are starting learning AWS, then I would suggest first go with the built-in policies. Once you are familiar with the built-in policies, then go with the custom policies. So you can see again we are getting what is called error, because the policy which we have defined, it is not correct. So that's why we are getting a issue here. So there are some issues with the custom policies which we have created. So in case if I'll edit it, modify permissions, not sorry, we need to go to policies. Let me okay, cancel this one. So here if I'll do, instead of typing manually, let me close this, and here if I'll do add statement, and here I will search for EC2, and if I'll auto select all the action here, and let me oh sorry, let me close this, and let me next, click on next. So no resources are specified, please specify for a selected item. So okay, again we have missed something. Okay, so this part basically, so resources, let me provide a star. Okay, so again it's causing the issue, let me put in double quotes. Let me check. Okay, so save changes. Now let me go back to my EC2 the demo user account. Let me refresh the screen. Sometimes the policies take times to reflect as well. Let me see if I can create or not. So let me select my image, which is U12. Okay, so now I think I'm not getting any error. Okay, so now I'm able to create a EC2 instance. So that's how basically you can create a custom policies if you are not able to get the existing policies, or the built-in policies are not suitable for your requirement. In that case, you can also create a custom policies, and you can assign to the particular user or a group. So this was the overview of identity and access management, how we can create a IAM user, and how we can assign the permissions, built-in permissions or custom permissions. So that's all for today. See you next video. Thank you so much.